Hello friends, it's Kathy Clement with Kathy by Design, and I'm just popping in very quickly today to share a walkthrough of a really fun little folio that I made with Stamperia's Winter Tales. This is so pretty. This is one of my favorite Christmas/winter collections. I love blue, and these dreamy forest scenes are just wonderful. I also used, in the making of this project, this new 3D embossing folder from Spellbinders. It's called Simon's Geo Quilts. And I don't know if you can pick this up, but it's got like these really great geometric squares in there, and each one has a different face on it. So it creates this quilted look on a project, and I'll show you that in a minute. And then I reached into my stash and pulled out Susan Tierney Cockburn's Victorian collection using these foliage pieces, and then also from this collection of fern and ivy, I used the ferns. So let me show you what I have made. This is a little tea party in a box folio. It's 5.5 by 7.5, and it has a 1.25 inch spine. And if you look carefully at the background, you can see where I use that 3D embossing folder to create this really cool dimensional effect. And first I just wet the paper and brushed my embossing folder with iced spruce, and then ran it through my machine following the instructions for a 3D embossing folder. And then I came back and I spattered it with diluted white chalk paint. And when that dried, I came back and I found this new product that's kind of fun. This is Brutus Monroe Glitter Glaze. And I love subtle glitter on winter projects or Christmas projects. This is brand new, and it's real thick, and it's got glitter built into this medium. So it goes on really nicely. I just brushed it on with a paintbrush, and while it was still wet, I sprinkled on some glitter to create this snowy sky background. I've painted all the chipboards, just dry brushed the edges with chalk paint. And then here's my die cut foliage that I also dry brushed with chalk paint and then hit with a little bit of glitter. This is a Rene Bouquet's poinsettia. These are some little birdie, I think they're called Queenie. Really reasonable ribbon in the bow cluster, and then here's a little tiny bottle brush tree that I also brushed with chalk paint. So that's the cover. Here's the spine with our dangle charm, and I just put a bunch of wintry things. I've got a deer and some pine cones, some jingle bells, and I ran this through with embroidery floss. Here's the back. This is Bluebird ribbon from Really Reasonable Ribbon, that is the ribbon closure. So we'll open this up and we will take a look. This is not really a mini album. This is more like a lap book or a look book or a display book, although there are places where you could put photos here. Inside the cover, I've created this fun little flap page. So I get the entire image from the 12 by 12 paper on this folio. Just so pretty. And you could write verses to a poem or put a little photo here if you wanted to. But I just love these images. I didn't want to cover them up. Then this is a little flip pull-out element that I built into the folio. And here's the front cover, and this lifts up. This is magnetized. And inside I have another piece of my paper. And down here I've created a little flap element. You could put a photo here and a little journaling here if you just wanted to do like a special photo. Then this page is really fun. This is a flip out page. And what I did was I cut my designer paper to fit the width, which I think was 8 3/8. And I split it down the middle, and then I cut out this big image of the fairy. This was a little bit tricky, but what I did was I just put her where I wanted her on the page, then closed the page and creased. and came back and trimmed off things that needed trimming off. And I just love the 3D effect that this gives, even though this is a completely flat page. It's not a pop-up. And these are some little fussy cuts that I just added to create a little scene. And it looks like this beautiful winter fairy is watching over this little cottage in the woods. I think that's so sweet. Anyway, this flips out. And then I have a pocket page here. Make sure I'm in frame. And I created just a little mini folio. You could put a couple of photos in here or journaling if you wanted to. And then I created a small little waterfall element. And of course this goes in the pocket to hold everything in place. And then here's the tea party in the box. And because this is a nice big box, I was able to put a lot of goodies in here. I made a little tag with the same embroidery floss that I used on the spine and added a little snowflake. Here's one of my vintage spoons that I love to put in. This is a little note card, again with more of these fibers and room in here to write a note or put photos. And then everything you need for a tea party. We have a Ghirardelli chocolate. We have a winter spice tea bag. We have a peppermint stick. We have Biscoff cookies, and we have a honey stick. And the thing about these tea party in a boxes that I love is that once you eat all the goodies, you can totally put photos into the box. And then this really does become more of a photo folio. The little bookmark, of course, you can use to keep track of your place while you're reading by the fire this winter, to keep you cozy. So that's just a little walkthrough, a little technique idea here with this cool Geo Quilt 3D embossing folder and a really fun Christmas/winter. This would make a great gift. It will be in my Etsy shop if you're interested, Kathy by Design Etsy. And that is all, just a little walkthrough, a little surprise bonus video this weekend. And thank you so much. I hope you have a great weekend. Kathy Clement, Kathy by Design. Go get your craft on.